Do I have to turn anything off? No.
Nope, nothing to turn off. No, it's all good. It's all good. Well, super chat straight away. Awesome. Thank you very much. We'll get to that in a minute. But first of all, welcome one and all to the Royal Palace in the independent sovereign nation of PimBartia, hosted by Her Majesty Pim, Queen of PimBartia, and all the pirates. They're in and they're out and out with and in with and stuff. You know the drill, basically. The drill is you put a large capital Q followed by a colon. Then you write your question and suffix the whole thing with a question mark. That way, His Majesty, Ted, King of all the bears in PimBartia, and those within and without, first of his name and all of that, can find them, can't you, Ted? Yes. And he'll be twiddling the knobs. So you go down there, Ted, and you twiddle the knobs. Good boy, good boy. He's very good at knob twiddling, is Ted. Yeah, well, you know, there are some things that, you know, the desk is a good thing sometimes, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't help me when I'm sitting here.
Well, good boy, Ted. Good boy. All right, so you know how it is. Yep. Right, so Pim's in charge, as usual, because she's the Queen of PimBartia, where we all need to learn the Latin things that we say about PimBartia, and there they are up on the screen for you right now to learn. Et commodite cani, et non cantare. So would you like to translate that?
I think you will need to practice your Latin accent.
Probably, yes. Well, I'll do the translation then. It goes like this. Yes. Eat meat and no singing. That's what it says. Yes, good. All right.
So we got a super chat.
Yes, yeah, super chats.
It should say first on that super chat because you were first.
Yes.
There you go.
Right.
I was happy to see a new video from Pim today. An adorable new video.
Yeah. Were you doing the thing with the fluffy things? Yeah.
Yes. You have to come watch it.
Yes. Good.
And if you don't subscribe, we'll get fucked in.
We'll get fucked in. Yes. Exactly. Oh dear.
Poor people.
It's going to be one of those kind of shows.
Yeah, I've only slept 3 hours, so it might be one of those.
For God's sake, don't write your question more than once because Pim will explode. Spontaneous regal combustion it will be.
Probably. All right. So
right,
go on with your questions. I haven't seen any questions, so we're just going to read a few comments while we're waiting for questions then. And yes, let's see there. Feral Grandma. I was trying to find the price of hatchling ducks in New Zealand, but it was all North Island results. That's about as useful as needing something in Wyoming, and all the search results come from New York City. Yes, that's life on the South Island. It's really, really hard to find what you want if you want something specific. That's why I'm having duck eggs in the incubator right now, because it's really hard to get the ducks. But eggs are a little bit easier.
Good.
Yes.
While you're looking for comments, let me make one about the banner, which is currently meandering its way across the bottom of your screens right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, super intelligent shades of the color sky blue, pink, or whatever shade you might identify as. News from the fine folks at Cerule. Here it is. Beginning at the beginning of December, there will be available a new formulation in the first instance of Stem Enhance Ultra first, and it will be hardcore carnivore. This will be available in the first instance to folks living in the independent sovereign nations of New Zealand and Australia. It will go international when we prove that we can move the stuff in New Zealand and Australia first, for some reason. It makes perfect sense business-wise why they would do that. Anywho, the current Cerule Stem Enhance Ultra product and Cyactive and Plasma Flow are presented to you fine folks in a cellulose capsule with an inert rice starch flow agent. They will go. They have gone. They are gone in the hardcore carnivore formulation. Instead, you will have a bovine gel capsule. Brilliant. And the flow agent will no longer be a rice starch-based flow agent. It will be a non-plant-based flow agent. Excellent. And then moving forward in the future, when we get this going and it's international and everybody wants it, we will do a hardcore carnivore Cyactive and a hardcore carnivore plasma flow, which will also remove all those plant materials and fermented plant materials in the current product because we don't think they're necessary, and so they will go. And furthermore, the collagen product will be presented for you fine folks in a non-sweetened and non-food colorized version. Isn't that fantastic? What that means is that the cereal company is listening to what I have to say and what I need for my people, and they're providing it for us. So we need to support it fully, starting with those in New Zealand and Australia in very early December. These will be available for your ordering pleasure from your normal back office ordering system. Okay, please do not wait for this. Do not hold off on ordering your standard product for this, because that's not helpful to business or to yourselves, because we don't have an exact date for international release yet. And I don't want people in New Zealand and Australia waiting for early December to order your product. So just carry on as normal. I'm just telling you, this is happening, and it's exciting as an exciting thing called Mr. Exciting, isn't it?
Mr. Exciting.
Yes.
I have a question.
Do you?
Will people be able to buy it in Australia next weekend?
When I'm at the
Yes.
Adelaide conference, it's called the Carnivore Collective Live, next Saturday the 23rd in Australia. I believe the intent is that it will be available for order by that day.
I mean, there are some people that come over from America. Can they buy it there?
Oh, will we have stock? Probably
Yes.
not.
Okay.
We probably won't have physical stock on hand at that time, but we will have the ability for those in the Australian and New Zealand market to go to their back offices and order the stuff.
Gotcha.
So a week away. Isn't that awesome?
Super good.
With an expected delivery date in very early December.
Okie dokie.
The company that's putting it together for us is in Christchurch, and they will send it to the office in Auckland. And then the Australian and New Zealand orders go out from Auckland to wherever you may be in Australasia. Exciting. Right, let's move on.
Okie dokie then. We have lots of questions now.
Yay, we like questions.
Would you agree with Gareth Smith that an intake of vitamin A above what's found in muscle meat and fat via eggs, liver, dairy is contraindicated?
I think that's entirely possible case by case. I have not personally seen an overt and demonstrable case of vitamin A toxicity myself that I would class as being such. But I'll tell you what I have seen, absolutely, and that is a person, or a number of people, in fact, who have overtly, quite clearly taken in vastly too much copper by way of either eating too much liver or indeed freeze-dried liver, which is even worse. And that really does seem to cause problems. So I actually invited Gareth Smith to come on my YouTube channels a couple of years ago, and he did. And I asked him to explain himself, and I don't think he did a great job of it. Maybe he was off form that day, I don't know, but it didn't convince me at all, personally. That video is still available on the Meat Militia channel, I think, if people want to watch that later. Anyway, there you go.
All right, so this is kind of funny that this question comes up.
Is it?
Do you think older cow tastes better, i.e. 10 years versus 3 years old cow?
Go on.
So last weekend we were to have a look at some goats, and they had a, was she 15 or
yeah,
no?
15-year-old, she said.
15-year-old cow, and every winter they said, they thought that she was going to die, so I was asking why they didn't eat her. And you and the lady with the goats were both like, oh no, that would be just too tough. Can't do it. And I thought, I'm not so sure about that. So I actually went on YouTube's and they did a test. They ate. I sent him the video, but he doesn't watch my videos that I send him either. So they did a test, the normal 3-year-old cow versus 8-year-old versus, I think it was 15 as well. And both the 8-year and the 15-year-old, they actually liked it better. So it's not tougher. It just has more beef taste, apparently. If you don't have your own cows, I think it's very hard to get hold of it because no one wants to deal with that. And kind of a myth that is going around that you can't eat old cows. But everyone's been eating old cows for
forever, apparently.
Millennia, probably.
All right.
So there you go.
Dr. Abs. Good to see you,
So
Dr.
I guess
Abs.
it's a matter of, do you like the taste of beef? Maybe.
Good.
We'll have to do that test sometime in 10 years' time or so.
Mm.
Actually, we're going to get some cows between, can't even remember, but I think the oldest one is 7 or 8. So maybe we shall eat her in a couple of years.
Maybe.
Right. So are you okay for me to do a reaction video to the Vegan Gains demolition, my friend?
Yes, I think you should. Absolutely, Abs. I reckon that'd be great. And what I would suggest, if I may be so bold as to suggest anything, is maybe you fact check every argument point that came up during that so-called debate and make a determination on who was right, demonstrably, absolutely, unassailably, and who was wrong, absolutely, demonstrably, and unassailably on every single point that came up. And you can go to the literature, if you like, to back up the claim as to who was right and who was wrong on every single point. I reckon that'd be awesome.
Awesome.
I can preempt, by the way. I was right. He was wrong on everything. Oh, hi, everyone. I'm a tubby fuck with no idea about anything whatsoever. I'm also an arrogant tubby fuck. I'm also the most ill-educated and offensive cunt on the internet. And if I just say, yes, they did do something that they clearly, absolutely, demonstrably did not do enough times, that'll make them right, apparently. What a turd. Anyway, that was fun. What's next?
What's next is butter and tallow contain PUFA. If you cook with them, they will peroxidize just like seed oils. How much of a problem is this?
It seems it's less of a problem. It seems that the seed oils are far more likely to undergo oxidative and peroxidative damage and that kind of stuff. There's also the deuterium issue on top of that. I'm never a fan for using high temperatures in cooking when you're using fats. However, I'm not convinced that there's a problem either. Thank you for the question.
So I can find questions and then scroll back easily now.
Nice.
This mouse seems to be working.
I have changed the USB line back to the PC for another one.
Okay.
Which seems to have solved the problem.
Why didn't you do that 100 years ago?
I'm a busy man, and so is Ted, aren't you, Ted? Good boy. You just twiddle those knobs.
Okay, what do you think about drinking diluted seawater? Seawater is similar to our blood plasma.
You don't know what else is in there either. Seawater contains a lot of...
I think you can get clean seawater.
Clean sea... Well, it's not seawater then, is it? It's just salt water, in which case it's fine.
Yeah, but the same composition.
Oh, well, sure, clean. Yeah, fine, yes. I mean, we evolved in the ocean many moons ago.
I've heard plenty of people say that it actually been really good for them to drink it. So.
Okay, well, good. Yep, fine.
I can't see a problem with it anyways. Righty-o. So, did Pim watch the public eviscerating of vagina gains by Tid? She did not.
No.
She's heard all about it. So don't worry.
Don't worry, I told her. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I don't need to watch it. It will be like deja vu.
Yeah, I did a replay. Yes.
Right. Got an MTHFR issue. Blood tests showing my folate is very low. Can't tolerate any folate supplements whatsoever, which would be the optimal safest food sources of folate I can try adding into diet.
Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Go and do a Google on that as to the highest folate containing things. Meat is one of them. If you don't like meat for some reason, then and you're looking for other ones, sure, go for it. But I would start with meat. I'm sure Harry, if he was here, would be pulling his hair out by now and going, no!
No!
Or,
probably.
Where is Harry? Is Harry back yet?
Can't remember.
I think it's around about the state that Harry is allowed to be seen again and speak again.
I think we have a super chat somewhere.
There you go. There it is.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Cheers from sunny South Florida.
Thank you to you, with your $9.99.
Cloudy Tasman.
It is a bit of not rain because I want to mow my lawns afterwards.
I don't think it's going to rain today.
Good.
No. Wait.
Scrolling at 1,000,000 miles an hour, apparently.
Yes, apparently I am.
I'm getting seasick watching you scroll.
Well, don't watch then.
Ah.
Okay, here we are. Can you please react to the video Goatis Sverige posted? He reacted to Max German, Carnivore YouTuber. The video is about raw versus cooked. Thanks.
Okay, I can have a look. I'll put it on my list of 1,000,000 things to do.
Your lust.
My list of 1,000,000 things, yes.
Okay. Contact Cheryl Stevens in Ashburton, New Zealand. She's a biodynamic farmer and a genius with a referral system for all things sustainable.
Okay. Sandra McDonald in Ashburton. Okay.
Cheryl Stevens in Ashburton.
That's what I said. I just pronounced it completely wrong. That's what I meant to say is what I should say.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Will you remember that? Because I certainly will not.
Cheryl Stevens. Probably not.
If you write it down.
Yes.
Biodynamic farmer in Ashburton is easier. Yeah, write it down.
Cheryl McDonald.
No.
Stevens.
Yeah. Very good.
Where the hell that was probably old McDonald had a farm?
Sandra McDonald wrote it.
Ah, yes, that's where I'm getting it from, of course. Yeah.
Jesus. All right.
Yes.
Should I slowly build up to priming over a few weeks or just trip on my food as soon as I'm ready to start priming?
Well, the way I did it was just bang, you hammer over and you start.
Yeah. There's no point in slowly building up because if you intentionally go in and eat as much as you can, if your max is going to increase with time, it's just going to increase with time. So it's kind of a slow build up anyway. There's no point going halfway. It's just going to prolong the process.
Indeed.
Which I don't think most people would enjoy that much.
Yes.
Okay. Pim, what's the best way to refer patients to you? Recommend you to some of mine. The best way is to send me an email right now because my website is still down and everything is effed up and I can't be bothered to sort it out, basically. I need to move everything and I don't actively do any marketing right now. So the best way is just to send me an email to pim@pimjohnson.com.
Right. So that's pam@pamjohnson.com?
Or pum.
Or pom, that's Pim, P-I-M, Johnson, J-A-N-S-S-O-N.
Very good.
Yes, .com.
pim@pimjohnson.
Yes, that's what I said. I just pronounced it all wrong.
Again,
Good.
yeah.
But it's not Pam Johnson.
No.
And it's not Prim. There's no R.
I only send people to me who are seriously prepared to do the work.
Yes. Don't send any time wasters, Abs.
No, I mean, it's not, if I get paid, I get paid, but I want to work with people who really want to do it. I'm working with such a brilliant guy right now. He's amazing. He's doing everything and you wouldn't ever do it. Taking a lot of notes. He's doing all the homework. He has a lot of questions. He's really invested in it, which is super fun. So if you have people like that, please send them my way. We'll get good results. Okay, next one. Can I acquire a plot of land on PimBartia? I simply need a shed to sleep.
Well, we are still considering selling citizenships to PimBartia, and perhaps we can allocate small plots to the lords of PimBartia when we decide who they are.
The lords.
Yes, and they can put a shack there, and it can be the love shack. No singing. Can't it? That's a rule in PimBartia. No singing.
Why is there so much singing in PimBartia if that's a rule?
Because the queen is not controlling it with an iron fist.
Do you want me to?
An iron fisting?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. That sounds painful.
Maybe we will stop singing then. Why is there an ant on the screen?
Oh, it's probably hungry for...
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. Any recommendation on optimized fat intake? I really don't handle any extra fat more than that included in the meat.
Well, that's the answer for you individually at this time then. Listen to your body. The main thing is that you get sufficient protein, which will be somewhere very close to 2 grams of protein per kilo of non-fat mass, or ideal body mass, if you like. Plus or minus individual differences, which aren't much usually.
Roger. Okay.
Yes.
But Why, when some people eat junk food, their LDL goes up? This is the point. Vegans say it is bad.
Well, if you do damage to your endothelial cells via eating junk food, then your body needs to send cholesterol there to assist in the repair, i.e. it's the basic ingredient that's involved in building these cell membranes. And so your LDL will go up in order to transport it there, I imagine.
Very good. There's a super chat somewhere.
Super chat.
Shut up.
No singing.
Would yogurt fermented with lactobacillus reuteri bacteria a good complement to a carnivore diet?
Sure, if it works for you and you don't react poorly to it, and there's not too much sugar in it, and it's not got flavorings like fruit or, you know, extra added sugars of any kind or that kind of thing. Yep. Thank you for the $5. I presume they're US dollars. Ted likes US dollars. They feed him a bit more than do Pacific pesos. By the way, you'll notice I have turned off the midstream advertising on the stream. So please do reward us by super chatting us all your money. That way we'll be able to keep ourselves in the manner to which we've become accustomed here as the rulers with iron fistings of the independent nation of PimBartia.
I don't get to iron fist.
No. Well, you can't afford to iron fist at the moment, so that's why we need all the money from the peasants.
I meant iron fisting you and you singing.
That would make it go up an octave, wouldn't it?
Probably. Or two. What genetic mutations are worth caring for a carnivore as it relates to one's own dietary requirements, and how does one acquire such a test for these?
There are a number of companies that offer genetic testing, plus or minus any security around your data, mostly minus any security around your data. Actually, it does get shared, whether they tell you it does or doesn't. Really, at the end of the day, genetic mutations are what they are. And if you mean what epigenetic things can you do to look after yourself, pretty much irrespective of what your SNPs are, I would suggest that the best thing you can do diet-wise is to follow the closest to a 100% carnivore diet that you can attain, maintain, and be a happy chappy or chappy-ette undertaking, pretty much. And 4 other health hacks that are on my 5 health hacks video.
Well, you got to say it today again.
5 health hacks video.
Very
Watch
good.
that. And yes.
Okay, then.
And stock up on cereal products. But also, don't just stock up on them. Take the bastards, because they won't work in your cupboard.
Good.
Good.
I have a limited budget buying cereal products. Should I use 2 stem-enhanced capsules a day for 6 months or 4 a day for 3 months to treat a very bad spinal injury? Thank you.
I would go with the former rather than the latter rather than the more for a shorter period of time. Okay? That's what I would suggest, whatever the hell first or second that was. Secondly, if people are in a situation where they can't afford to purchase sufficient cereal product to be ideal, then I would suggest you take advantage of the 3 and free program offered by Cereal to members of our IBO organization. So instead of being a customer, you join as an IBO, which stands for Independent Business Owner, and then you set up 3 retail customers on a wellness pack, and you get a wellness pack for free, ongoingly, forever, as long as you have 3 wellness pack customers who are retail customers. Can't say fairer than that, can you? Can you afford free, Matthew? I can afford free. It's about all I can afford now, having purchased the independent sovereign nation of PimBartia.
Hello, dog.
And we've also had to buy some stock, and we're yet to have to buy more stock and equipment to look after the property and, you know, all sorts of things. Hello, Professor Fluffy. I mean, Captain Slack Bladder.
Right.
Yes. Good.
Is walking and weight training good exercises for general health and well-being? What about sprinting and weight training?
Yes, both of those are fine.
Very good.
Yeah, just avoid the middle intensity, long-lasting hours and hours and hours a week of so-called distance training, aerobic training they call it, or endurance training, that kind of stuff. The middle zone, stay out of there pretty much for more than about half an hour a week, or maybe twice a week.
Okay, then.
Yep.
Is it better to lift weights without a belt than with a belt, given you're not trying to do a 1 rep max? I feel like I'm cheating and not really using my body naturally.
There are different schools of thoughts on whether weight belts are a good idea or are not a good idea. I have used them when I was lifting as a younger man. I'm actually still not convinced one way or the other that it's absolutely necessary or useful. And I do take your point that if you're doing that, then you're not moving naturally and you're not activating your core the same way as you would be. And while it's designed actually to protect you from herniation more than anything else, maybe just lift a bit less weight.
Well, it did say when you're not trying to do a 1 rep max.
Yeah, well, if you're just doing sub-max stuff, I absolutely wouldn't go anywhere near a weight belt then in that case.
I wouldn't either, and I feel very strongly about it.
Good. Well, we won't disagree with you then, Your Majesty, Pim, Queen of Pirates, Mother of Puppies, the Unpoped, first of her name, sovereign ruler of all of PimBartia.
Blah, 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 blah.
Finished.
What do you think overall about the teachings of Exogenous, whoever the fuck? Some things these rawnivores claim seem too good to be true. Would raw dairy, fat, organs, meat help in detoxing?
Okay, you're talking about a bloke called Jonas von der Planets, he called himself.
Probably.
That wasn't his actual name. He was, in fact, an actor who did, late in life, a Wednesday afternoon certificate in bumfuckery or some aspect of nutrition that wasn't remotely of any good quality whatsoever, and then he espoused a bunch of stupid, mindless opinions for the rest of his life, which wasn't very long because he's died pretty soon after that. Oh, Professor Snoozy, everybody's here. Hello. What do you say? What do you say? Hey, what do you say? Would you like to say hello to the boys and girls? Hello, boys and girls. Oh. Yeah, no, I wouldn't take anything seriously that boy said. Yeah.
Okay then.
Yep.
I recently watched a video by an individual called Dr. Clapper.
Oh, geez, Dr. Clapped out. Yeah.
He seemed to proclaim the opposite of your message. What should I make of it?
Well, what you should make of it is that he is an imbecile, an ill-educated, theologically and actually financially motivated criminal misanthropist with not the first fucking idea of what he's talking about whatsoever. Take one look at the man and decide whether he's the sort of bloke you should take health advice from or not. No is the answer. Dr. Clapped out. Jesus Christ. On a bicycle.
How many animals have you got on PimBartia so far? Any plans for more?
Other than these 2 dogs, we have 7 animals, and we need vastly more than 7.
We have 7 sheep. We have 13 duck eggs. I think 2 of them are dead, but I'm waiting a couple of days before I decide on that. We are expecting 14 cows, 7 adults and 7 not so adult ones next week, hopefully, and also 3 goats next week. So that's about that for now. Oh, come on in. God, you take that one.
I'll take this one. Oh, Professor Fluffy Pants. Eh? Oh, Ted's just fallen on the floor. Perhaps he's had his fill.
Maybe.
Right.
Okay. I live in Canada, 8 months of cold weather, not much sun exposure during these months. Should I take vitamin D supplements? If so, which one?
I wouldn't personally. I would spend as much time as possible in the sun during the summer with bare skin, consistent with staying away from the direct sun and the most furious part of the day, the part when your shadow is shorter than you are. The problem with most vitamin D supplements is that they are presented in oil, which is almost certainly rancid as fuck. So I just wouldn't go anywhere near it personally.
Okay then.
Yep.
Did you watch the Dr. Kill's debate with Simon Hill? If so, what did you think?
Not as yet. I intend to at some point, and possibly I will respond to portions of it. I can't respond to the whole thing because it's over 2 hours long.
Bloody hell. Do you believe Simon Hill is a vegan? He seems to state things in a very fact-based manner, but I don't know if I can trust him.
Simon Hill, I think, is probably a vegan, or at least vegan-friendly. Simon Hill is also one of the most arrogant and ill-educated buffoons I've come across in a while. I mean, frankly, at the end of the day, any person who will come online and publicly state that it is a good idea to base your nutrition on plants is an imbecile. Right there. They are wrong. And Simon Hill is a turd, basically. An ill-educated turd. What's next?
What's next is... How do you know fructose is glycating? There isn't a single study using whole fruits or raw honey being used on humans. All there is are studies using isolated fructose on rats.
Now my pencil fell on the floor. I'm dropping shit left, right, and centre.
Yeah, and on me.
Well, at the end of the day, even if we are completely wrong here and fructose is not glycating, which we know damned well it is, actually, what we also know about fructose is that it will absolutely cause a reduction in the ATP level in the liver cells that are designed to do the thing around the metabolization of fructose, and that will absolutely cause overeating, overhunger, and metabolic dysfunction sooner or later. Whatever. You do you, though. If you want to eat fructose and you want to follow Paul Salad, I don't know, you do that. Good luck to you.
Good luck. Okay, then. Can I eat worms on the carnivore?
Yes, if you want to.
Have fun.
Yep, enjoy those.
Is omen okay while lifting weights?
Yes, it is.
Why is farmed salmon a problem? Harry has argued that PUFAs in animals aren't necessarily harmful, so is it something else than the omega-3 to 6 ratio?
Yeah, it's the crap they feed the farmed salmon. It's the garbage they feed them in the little tablet capsule things that they throw into the cages. That's just toxic, vastly horrible shit.
And I think Harry would say that there's probably seed oils in what they feed the fish, and seed oils are very high in deuterium, and that fish is going to have a lot more deuterium than real fish.
Yep.
I'm going to call it real fish.
Yes, real fish, roly-poly, real fish, not singing.
And he would probably say another 50 billion things in the next hour or so, but let's stop there. Because we're not Harry.
No, but soon you'll be able to listen to Harry again, apparently.
Whoa. For a month? Shall we take bets? How long
is Harry's first live stream going to last?
No, not that. How long is it going to last on YouTube?
Oh, right.
We got this third.
Until he gets a third strike. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope that Harry does decide to refrain from saying things that he knows he can't say at this time, anyway.
Anything negative expected from MSG on my tallow fried chicken?
Well, it depends very much individually. I react personally very, very poorly, very immediately, and very strongly to MSG.
MSG is a neurotoxin, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you won't necessarily notice anything, but you're not going to do yourself any favors by eating it. It's not going to be good for you.
Yes.
Seems unnecessary.
Yes.
I just purchased several stem cell support and inflammation support. Can I take these at the same time?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Here's a comment more than a question.
Yes.
It says MTHFR issues equals eat raw meat. It contains methylated vitamins.
Yeah, you don't need to eat it raw at all. In fact, there is no indication anywhere that raw meat is superior in terms of outcomes to cooked meat for any condition whatever. Yeah.
So there. Read folate. Been carnivore for 5 years. I don't eat plants at all, so meat isn't doing anything to help my folate levels. I'm unsure how to proceed as can't use supplements.
Well, eat meat.
But it's been carnivore for 5 years.
Well, how do we know that you've got a problem? What symptoms are you experiencing? FFTT.
Okay, then. So, quick question. What's your point of view on people going keto, MCT oils plus all meat, aka carnivore, in my opinion, it sounds sus for long-term gut health. But what is FWIW? Some claim is GFH and weight loss.
Okay, please don't use TLAs. They're a PITA. Use words, Freddie. Keto plus MCT oils plus all meat. Well, an all meat diet is not keto. It's not particularly ketogenic, and you can expect not to have a particularly high level or even sometimes a detectable level of ketones at all on a diet based on meat.
I think what the question is, people that are using MCT oils to be keto on a carnivore diet, because that is what it looks like to me anyway.
Right. Well, why would you want to be in ketosis except for the circumstance where your body places you into ketosis of its own accord because that's the right thing for it to be doing at that time? What possible benefit do you think there is in being in ketosis for the sake of being in ketosis? Some say it's anti-inflammatory. Well, fine. We've got that taken care of already with the 5 health hacks that you should follow. 5 of them, not 10, 5.
15.
High five. Good girl.
Why do you have a sweaty hand?
Do I?
Yes, they're like...
Apparently I'm...
like a wet sponge.
Perhaps, I don't know. Is it anything to do with... No, Ted's still lying on the floor.
So is the pen.
So.
Okay. Next one then.
Yeah.
Could I alleviate my autistic symptoms using a specific formula of Cerol and Carney diet?
It is possible, absolutely, yes. Follow the 5 health hacks video on my channel, all 5, religiously, for want of a better term. Do that for 6 months before you even think about whether it's worked or not, and I think you'll find it probably will have done, to some degree at least.
Okay.
Yes.
I eat low-carb diet, but with 50 to 100 grams of carbs. Is that harmful for my tissues over time?
Well, 100 carbs is about 50 above the top level that I would suggest for anybody, so about twice as much as you should be taking in. It has the potential to be harmful. I would cut back to 50 at a maximum, personally. Otherwise, no problems. Stand alone on that question, yes.
So I missed the super chat, but we already answered this question.
That's all right, put it up.
And it's been posted 3 times now.
Right.
Would yogurt fermented with lactobacillus reuteri a good complement to carnivore diet?
Yes, same answer as before. Thank you for the money. Appreciate that.
Yes, well, what's the answer then?
Well, it depends individually on how you react to it and whether it's got too much sugar or, all of that in it.
All righty then.
Yeah.
Okay. Random psychic question. After loading up on ketones for energy, how long before they might be able to switch to glucose? How long do they remain satiated and vice versa?
What do you mean loading up on ketones? Lucky guy? What is that? Do you mean taking exogenous ketones? In which case, why are you doing that? And how long it is before your metabolism switches gears is very much individual based on your genes and the environment they find themselves in at this time. Or that time.
Okay. Let's do this one.
Why not?
Do you agree with Gotis that the optimal lifestyle is raw carnivore plus having as many kids as possible, even having no job to mind all kids, as he says?
No, I do not agree with anything that Goatis/Sperier has to say on pretty much any topic. He is a complete imbecile, a waste of skin, a waste of perfectly good oxygen, and basically an imbecile. There are many, many imbeciles around, and he's one of them, without any question.
Okay. I'd love to learn more details about stable isotope testing of skeletons, of how this has shown that humans have been largely carnivorous. Even better would be a video by you citing references, etc.
Okay, well, I might do one day, but in the meantime, you're more than welcome to go to the literature and read it, and hopefully you'll learn something. The difficulty, of course, for people who are not trained in science going to the literature and reading it is they've actually got no idea what they're reading. Sure, you understand the words, mostly, but actually without a background in science, you don't know whether what's been done is appropriate or otherwise. But you can be an arrogant tubby fuck and come online and say they absolutely did such and such when they absolutely did not. And then when you're corrected by an actual scientist who says, well, Richard, no, they actually didn't do that at all. Yes, they did, is the answer you give. No, they didn't. Oh, no, they didn't, boys and girls. Oh, yes, they did. Oh, no, they didn't. The answer is they still didn't. Wrong again, Richard, still.
All right.
Okay, I'm over it.
Good.
Yeah.
What's the physiological mechanism behind exercise increasing HDL?
Is there one? How do you know there is one?
Mm.
And even if it does that, so what?
So what?
So what? It's like Cool Whip.
Yeah, I don't
Victory
know.
is mine.
Why do people say what when it says what?
Well, I'm pretending to be Stewie Griffin just for a second.
Many people do, for reals.
Yeah, what?
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 Who?
It's one of my affectations that I use for my online persona caricature because I think it's as funny as fuck.
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 Who's the fur baby?
Which fur baby?
There were two here.
Yes, Professors Fluffy and Snoozy.
Those two.
Yes, otherwise known as Amy Fucksake and Captain Slackbladder.
What's news? Do you have any knowledge of what a carnivore diet does to the gut's bifidobacteria levels?
Do you? Does anybody? It's individual.
Yes. What the heck? Another super chat that I missed. Why don't they pop up here anymore? They did in the beginning. Does meat quality play a role in the benefits of a carnivore diet, or is the actual carnivore diet accounting for like 95% of the results?
Mostly the second, although very poor quality meat can be a problem. But I've yet to come across any very poor quality meat myself.
Oh, we got another super chat. Same question.
Yes.
Almost.
Right.
Maybe. Let's read that one too. I just scrolled through now, so there's two of them. Does meat quality play a role in the results of a carnivore diet, or is the diet itself the main level? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Same question, same answer.
Just didn't have the 95% in it.
Yes, mostly I would sooner see anybody eat a carnivore diet, even with moderate quality meat, than any diet containing any amount of carbohydrate or plant material to speak of whatsoever.
Thank you for the super chat.
Yes, appreciate that very much.
Apologies for not seeing it.
It's StreamYard's fault.
Yes.
Yes, let's blame StreamYard.
Others. Yeah. Always blame other people's and softwares and shit.
Yeah. Or if that doesn't work, you can just completely objectively deny the reality in which we find ourselves, Richard Burgess.
At least the mouse is working. That's a new one. If you had santallasmus, what steps would you take to remedy the situation?
None at all. Doesn't concern me. It's not a health concern.
So, gifted one Professor Bart. Okay, main channel membership. Very nice.
To whom? Oh, he was gifted. Yourself was gifted one.
Apparently.
By somebody. Awesome.
I don't know.
Very generous, whoever it was that gifted that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's see. Can I cleanse my body toxins using orange juice?
No,
I'd
you
like
can't.
to drink it to cleanse my digestive system, as it cleanses me out quickly. Once a month, I try.
No, absolutely not. No.
Why would you do that?
Yes, exactly.
And cleanses you out. How? Use magnesium sulfate in water instead. It's going to cleanse you out.
Yeah. No, orange juice is just sugar water. And it's the worst kind of sugar possible.
Very good.
Yeah.
I read a study earlier, cancer risk across mammals, and it says carnivores face highest cancer-related mortality based on adult zoo animals. 110,148 individuals. Is there truth to it?
Okay, number one, associative studies cannot inform on cause nor effect. Still, Richard Burgess, they are unable to make any comment whatsoever about cause and effect, so that's worthless. The word risk is completely inappropriately used by such studies because risk infers a cause and effect mechanism, which is not established, so no good. And even if that was the case, so what? We are not, while we are mammals, we are not like any other mammal. We live completely differently to what other mammals do.
Right. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
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 Then can't speak. Dr. Abs again. Are you doing anything to the soil at PimBartia to control meat quality? Curious because I'm doing my farming qualifications in Australia next year.
Nice.
Nice.
We haven't really started in earnest, except that we have 7 sheep so far, converting some of the grass into sheep dung, which is fertilizing it for us somewhat in the circle of life. The circle of life. No singing.
Where did that come from? No one was singing.
The circle of life. There you go. No singing.
Goodness sake.
Yes.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Yes, and Pim is going to be in charge of the farming procedures, so she can answer the question largely.
Pim is doing a lot of research, so I can't give you a proper answer to that right now, but I don't imagine that we will be needing to do anything drastic, so we'll probably just work on that over time and build it up and let the animals do the job for us.
Good, like it.
But if someone has any regenerative practice tips, please feel free to share them with both Dr. Abs and me. Everyone wants to know. Okay. Will there be a cheese factory on PimBartia? Dairy made from sheep, goat, cow? Yes. The goats that we're getting are milk goats. One of them is in milk right now. So there will probably be some cheese. I wouldn't call it a factory. I don't even like cheese, so we'll see.
A goat in milk. Does that mean it's coming in a bathtub full of milk?
No, but let's go to the super chat instead.
Well, why not?
So there must be a cutoff because this $10.99 showed up, and meanwhile we got $4.49 and $2, and they haven't shown up.
Right, perhaps it has to be over a certain level, as you say, before it gets highlighted. Maybe. Yes.
So don't super chat $4.99 next time. Super chat $5.01.
Yeah, or whatever it is.
Thank you very much for BGNs.
BGNs, yes.
I don't even know what BGNs is.
We'll take them though.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Thank you for the super chat. Opinion on high intake of fish for brain health?
There's no evidence to support that claim. None at all. It's completely equivocal.
And there's nothing wrong with fish if you get, clean fish, but...
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck getting clean fish.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the super chat that actually popped up.
Nice.
More BGNs. 99% carnivore from 3 years, only espresso left, but from organs I love only brain. Don't know why. Love it so much. Should I be afraid of prions?
Probably not.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, where do you get your brains from? Is it... I mean, if you get it from like the worst place ever that treats the animal horribly, maybe you could worry, but just make sure that the source is good, and I think you will be fine. So I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, we've had that one. Stop holding back, Professor. We can handle the truth. Tell us what you really think.
I think I did on a number of topics this week. I shall continue to do so for your entertainment, viewing pleasure, and education. You're welcome. Send me all your money.
So, Professor K, would chin-ups, dips, and sprints twice a week be enough when limited on time?
Enough for what?
To
do those things is better than to not do them. But is it enough for what? What is your goal?
Let's say just general health, because otherwise we'll probably say if it was specific goal.
Right. Okay, general health, there's no such thing. General fitness, there's no such thing. So, if you want an answer to whether something will suffice for a given goal, give us what the goal is, please.
What if it doesn't have a goal?
Well, then it's a pointless question, isn't it? Because, enough for what?
For being generally fit.
Well, it doesn't exist, still. Richard. Did I not just cover that, Richard?
Do you want your questions read or not?
Go on in.
MCT oil, a problem. 3 to 5 milliliters a day as carrier for other stuff.
I wouldn't have imagined that 3 to 5 mils of MCT oil was a problem, no.
Maybe if you ask Harry. Maybe it has lots of deuterium in it.
Maybe. I doubt it, though.
Well, it's a processed oil. Can severe flatulence be reduced using a certain protocol?
Yes, eat meat and 4 other health hacks. Available on my 5 health hacks video.
Rightio then. So, can disruptions in adrenal hormones complicate adhering to carnivore given the reliance on gluconeogenesis for glucose?
Potentially, depending on what the situation is. That sounds like the sort of thing you should probably discuss with me behind the scenes in a consultation session so that we can get to the bottom of it.
Okay. What symptoms would I show by consuming too much protein on a daily basis?
Too much gluconeogenesis leading to the same sorts of problems that you would get if you were eating too much sugar.
Okay.
Would be the first and most likely, yes.
What are your thoughts on infrequent bowel movements once every 3 days on a vegan diet?
My views on a vegan diet are very clear, have been very clear from the beginning and remain very clear. Do not do that as long as your ass points to the ground. It is the second worst diet a human being can possibly attempt to undertake. Very, very bad idea indeed. I would stay right the hell away from a vegan diet and anyone that wants to push vegan ideology upon you as well. Especially tubby ones from Canada with too much arrogance and no training at all. Hey, Tubby. How's your arse feeling now, by the way, having had it handed to you, Richard? And being absolutely fundamentally wrong on every single point you tried to make in our so-called debate.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
If I eat my steak, but I cook it too rare, am I still a fucking slave? And does it still have nothing to do with carnivore?
Yes, that's just a little joke about our friend who can't spell his name without using a number. It's funny as fuck. If you don't eat raw, if you cook your meat, you are a fucking slave and you have nothing to do with carnivore.
Goodo.
Yes.
Is uric acid good or bad? Is it raised by eating purines or fructose?
More so the latter than the former. More so fructose than purines will cause that to occur. It's good when it is being formed for the right reasons under the right metabolic processes as per the design of our natural intake, which is meat. It's not plants, and very, very bad when it's vastly elevated by the use of inappropriate intake of fructose. Yes.
Yes, okay.
Because you combine too much uric acid. It's actually urate and not uric acid, by the way, but you combine too much of that with inflammation that you absolutely concomitantly necessarily get when you consume too much fructose, and you're going to get a problem. Guess what that problem's called?
Right, done?
Yeah.
Non-sugar, high-fat, heavy cream. Any harm on carnivore have it in diet regularly? Why do some advocates say dairy is addictive if it's animal-based and fat-heavy? Thanks, sirs and ma'am.
Do your thing, really. If it works for you, don't fix that. I don't have a problem with it. I use heavy cream myself on a daily basis for my now pretty much only 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day. Down from 12. Don't drink 12 cups of coffee a day. Much scanning.
Oh, yeah, I'm just checking if we had any super chats I missed. Because now I'm, what's it called?
Obsessed with super chats.
Not obsessed.
Anxious that you get them all? I don't know.
That wasn't the word I was
I don't have any words either.
Okay. Why some people don't get fat eating carbs? Why are they doing, or where are they putting the exogenous glucose?
Well, if you correct the incorrect calories in, calories out formulation as a explanation for one's body mass and body composition, and you correct it to mass in, mass out, which is correct and does describe what the situation is, there's your answer. People who are getting away with that, at least in the short term, and at least in terms of body weight and body composition, are probably doing so because they are losing more mass. Ergo, it balances out in that respect. However, it doesn't solve the glycation issue, the inflammation issue, or any of those other issues. So it doesn't absolve it. Oh, I'm not getting fat, so it's okay. No, there are other things in getting fat that can go wrong with your health.
One thing that I forgot with the previous one was asking why people say that dairy can be addictive, and I think it mostly has to do with the fact that, well, there's a tiny bit of sugar in there, obviously, but casein can turn into casein morphine, which is sort of very close to morphine, and can, well, at least in theory, be addictive. I've never had that experience with dairy, but some people seem to have that.
It's designed to get the baby mammal who is supposed to be drinking that milk to want it.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is it this one? Do you recommend Homo sapiens get any labs of any sort if they're worried about a history of SAD? Nope.
I only suggest that getting labs is indicated if I suspect that there is a specific pathology that we need to confirm or deny. Specific, yes. Don't take the pus.
Me?
Well, you can if you like.
I don't take the pus.
Yeah.
Does insulin help to transport amino acids and activate tissue repair?
That's one of the many roles that is involved in what insulin does, yes.
Does vitamin K2 in butter and meat remove the excess calcium from blood? What is the mechanism of that?
Case by case, depends on how much of each of those things are going on and what the underlying reasons for that is. And the mechanism, I'd have to go and look it up.
Very good.
Do you know?
No, I don't care.
Right. Good. You can tell you haven't slept enough. I don't care about these people and their questions. Just send us money.
I used to love biochemistry. I used to want to know how everything works, and now I don't care anymore.
You just want sheep and cows and grow some grass
cows and ducks and stuff.
Yep.
That's all I'm interested
Fuck
in
you
right
all.
now. Yeah.
Fuck your chemistry. I'm a farmer now.
Yeah.
Good.
I think we can stop worrying about a lot of things if we just kind of eat and live right.
That's it. Let's not overcomplicate the situation, boys and girls.
I mean, it's interesting still, but not enough for me to go and read up about it. Regular caffeine, nicotine within limits cause harm for average healthy adult humans at 95% carnivore.
If you say so, that sounds more like a statement than a question, doesn't it? And within what limits?
I don't know. Is sweet taste in mouth a sign of ketosis? It usually kicks in after some work and paradoxically to a higher degree if I take a bit of carbs beforehand. Why does it happen? Hope it isn't hyperglycemia.
Well, any carbs that you put in your mouth are going to start to be acted on immediately by salivary amylase. So it's probably that.
Yes, so, okay.
Yeah.
Where are we? Here we are.
Pass, I don't know. Well, we're in PimBartia, but that's all I know. Yes. We're in the royal palace of PimBartia, known as Edward Yellow House or Lord Edward Yellow House. And is it yellow? Yes. Yes, it is. The actual house is yellow.
We're never going to change the color.
Nope. Unless to make it more yellow, because it's kind of a creamy yellow. It should be more golden, Ted-coloured yellow, shouldn't it?
Palace.
Yes.
Okay. What do you recommend, keto or 100% carnivore for goal of better brain health?
I would go with 100% carnivore and forget altogether about ketogenesis, keto diets, and chasing ketones in any way, shape, or form.
Right, we have 100 norska kronor.
Tack så mycket.
I watched your Do You Even Exist video several times now and got mind fucked, and now I don't matter, as apparently not even matter. Hope you make more physics fundamentals videos.
You're welcome. I'm here to help.
Matter doesn't matter.
Matter. There's a place in New Zealand called Matter, and it's not matter, it's mata.
Okay. We had that one. So, are olives, avocados, and sauerkraut all allowed as hypercarnivore or 70% meat-based?
You do you. You do you, absolutely.
Yes. What's better, chicken fat from conventional chickens or raw extra virgin olive oil?
Chicken fat from chickens. Without any question.
Do you know if saliva breaks down lactose in the mouth? Some Google results I found was that casein in milk protects the enamel somehow. I wonder if I can get away with not brushing after.
I would still continue to brush your teeth. And I don't know the answer to that. I suspect that lactose does break down in the mouth under the influence of salivary amylase.
So, are you going to have chickens to produce eggs?
Chickens, yes, but eggs we're looking at ducks for, aren't we?
Yes, so we'll probably eat the chickens. So we'll have some chickens, but not maybe too many. I found a really cool chicken, but they might be a little bit aggressive. I'm not sure yet that I'm going to get.
They look like fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're called Indian game, and I think they may be called Indian Cornish or something like that. I can't remember in the US. They look very primitive. I think they're pretty cool. So we're going to try out some different kind of chickens and eat them all and see what we like.
Yeah.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Try the chickens and eat them all.
Nom, nom, nom.
And then settle on whatever works best.
Yes.
In what situations does vitamin C become an oxidant? Does this happen with other vitamins as well?
When there's vastly too much of it, it can start causing a problem in that respect. It's if you're on a carnivore diet, you need to understand that your need for vitamin C is vastly low. You need like nanograms per deciliter in your blood. And luckily, there's exactly enough in meat, even cooked, even well done. Still.
So Mr. Smith is shouting here, Regenerative Farming, Joel Salatin. I have a couple of books, but not that one from Joel Salatin.
Okay. I've never heard of Joel. That's because I'm not doing the research on the farming, I suppose.
No. And then that's actually connected to the next one, which was, have you investigated salt licks for minerals to replace deficiencies in the soil for your animals? And I think it was Joel who said that he had been giving his cows different minerals, but not in a salt lick, just different ones, and letting them choose themselves. And eventually they stopped pretty much wanting them. And that would be a sign that the soil had already balanced itself out. So yes, that's probably the way that I would choose to go if I can. As I've said previously, the options on this island is a bit limited, so we'll see what we can get hold of. Okay. Is cow, lamb, or sheep brain indicated to maximize cognitive power?
There are no evidences that eating neural tissue has any effect on your cognitive power at all. When you eat such tissues, what happens is your body breaks them down into their constituent molecules, components, etc., and then your body reassembles them in a way that's suitable for its needs at the time.
Okay, so do you have any advice for reducing sugar cravings? More fat?
That's your department.
Well, could be. Some people say that they have less cravings for more fat. Some people say they have less cravings with more protein. So it probably depends on what it is. But in my personal experience, and obviously the people that I'm working with, it has nothing to do with a deficiency in amino acids or fixing the macros or anything like that. It's completely coming from an emotional eating perspective, which has developed into an addiction. So if that doesn't help, then you probably have a different cause. So if you are an emotional eater of some kind, stress eating, whatever, then it's not going to help. You can eat all the fat in the world, it's not going to help. But you can try it. Try more fat for a while. If it doesn't help, try more protein for a while. If that doesn't help, then that's definitely not the problem. And I've tried freaking everything in terms of supplements, changing macros and so on to deal with it, and nope. So carnivore is not a fix if you have an addiction or an emotional eating problem.
Right. We have 25 minutes remaining in our live, in our live schedule for the day because I need to go and get on my ride-on mower and ride around on it and mow things.
So we're going to build
after that.
goat
Yes,
sheds.
we're going to build a goat shed after I've done the lawns and the driveway and
for
all of
fuck's
that.
sake. We have a super chat.
Yes, good.
What are some tangible levers to pull for improving cognition through diet? Mental clarity, learning speed, verbal acuity, memory, retention.
The one which is a dietary and the 4 which are not. 5 health hacks. Go do those. All of them.
I think it's also maybe more about if you're already eating a decent diet. I don't think you need to look into like the one thing that is going to make your memory better. I think it's more a matter of training your brain to retain the information or learning things quicker, remembering things. Can't remember what the book is called. So what is his name? Jim Quick, Kwik, I think. Has written a book about how to remember things much quicker and better and learning how to do that. So there are lots of those kind of books out there anyway. So you can just go and do that. I think you're going to have better results with that. Train your brain to actually do that rather than trying to find a magic pill, because that usually doesn't work. I like to make fires. Is cooking meat on fire better than in pan as it's more natural?
Nope.
But it certainly tastes better.
Sure. There's no evidence that it's better in any way.
Good composting is key to soil health. Worms and fungus, a health indicator. Also an alternative is Korean natural farming methods, but they tend to be smelly.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, well, we're not going to put compost on all the paddocks. We let them do the composting themselves with the cow shit and stuff. Is checking blood triglyceride levels of any value? Can I tell anything about a person's health status?
No and no. You need more information than a single output from a single blood test in an individual. Waste of time.
Good OMAD meal to keep full all day?
Yep, correct.
Maybe they want an example. That's how I read it.
Oh, well, meat and fat. Preferably ruminant meat and associated fat with additional fat as required for satiety. Butter is great for that, but you can use ghee, tallow, lard, anything you like, pretty much, so long as it's animal-based.
So, also, if you want to nitrogenate your farmland, check out resources on human pee-pee. It's a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're
already doing that because we have a septic tank and I'm adverse to flushing a whole bunch of urine into it.
So I told him he can go and piss on the garden, and now he wants to piss outside all the time.
Well, I've got huge tracts of land to piss all over if I should see fit, being the king and all.
Funny as fuck.
Yes.
Is ascorbic acid a complete vitamin C or just a part of it? And does it have the same effects as natural vitamin C?
Ascorbic acid is vitamin C. And vitamin C is ascorbic acid. So, yes, they have exactly the same effect because they are exactly the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is 75-25 gram beef burger patty sufficient enough protein-fat ratio eating to satiety?
Ratios have nothing to do with it. Eat 2 grams of protein per non-fat kilogram of body mass and then eat fat to satiety. Do not worry about ratios.
Okay, then.
Yes.
How do they determine that polyphenols are antioxidants for the body just because they identify them as antioxidant elements in the laboratory test?
Yes. And they're also completely unnecessary. Your exact dietary requirement for polyphenols is none, ever.
Good-o.
Yeah.
I enjoy drinking carbonated water almost every day. How do you think this might affect one's health?
That would be a complete speculation on my part long term, and it's very individual, just like everything else. Pretty much. I wouldn't do it. Personally.
And why do you want to drink carbonated water?
Right.
Seems a bit unnecessary, but I don't even like the taste, so whatever. I was hoping you would paint the house sky blue pink.
Yes. Or some other super intelligent shade. No, Ted said it must remain yellow, and Ted gets to overrule things about
Ted
More Dead
looks
with
a
Yellow
bit
House.
grey today, I think.
Well, yeah, it's probably because of the green screen taking out some of the yellow.
Oh, poor yellow teeth.
He doesn't actually look.
Ted.
He doesn't look that grey in reality. He looks brilliantly orangey yellow as usual, gold. Yes.
We have a super chat.
Hey.
So $10.99. No, $5.
$5.
It didn't even come up, I think. The last one is $10.99. Anyhow, what are the tangible levers to pull for? We've had that one.
Yeah, and we've answered it. Good.
But not as a super chat.
Well,
you have to have a little bit of patience because I'm going through the questions in order. But thank you for the super chat. Yeah. If you want a super chat, please feel free to do so.
Tell you what, why don't you just ask your questions with a super chat in the first place?
Yes.
Then they'll get answered. And when we see the super chats come up, and you don't have to type the question twice, and then Pim doesn't have to explode her brains by reading things twice.
Yes, so.
Yes. Yes.
Is it required to brush teeth more than once a week? Since starting cheese and carnivore, my mouth feels clean.
Well, you know, the natural course of events, animals don't brush their teeth at all, do they? And we're an animal. However,
they do have stinky breath sometimes.
They do, absolutely, yes. So, I mean, if you want to control that, a good way is to continue to brush your teeth. If you're going to use mouthwashes, please avoid the nasties that you'll find in mouthwashes. Use a natural mouthwash, or even do a coconut oil pull. That's quite good for that. But in terms of the need to brush your teeth, if you're not consuming any amount of carbohydrates at all, then you don't need to brush that away so much, that being the film laid down by those sugar-loving bacteria that release acid and slowly destroy your teeth.
Good.
Yeah.
Even though you don't recommend olive oil, do you think they are at least significantly less bad than seed oils?
What makes you think olive oil is better?
Less PFAS, I guess.
Well, it's got some MUFA.
Yeah.
But
not too much PFAS.
Well, PFAS, it's still 14 to 16% PFAS is olive oil. Maybe it's better, if you like, but I still wouldn't go there. Eat animal fat, which also contains some PFAS, by the way, but that's for another day.
Oops. I didn't mean to get that one up just yet.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the difference in functionality of HDL, LDL, and triglycerides if all of them are fat transporters?
Okay, triglyceride is not really a fat transporter. Triglyceride is a fat. HDL and LDL are transporters of fats, including triglycerides. LDL is the transporter that takes fats, including triglycerides, from the liver out to the tissues, and HDL is the form of transporter that brings it back. There you go. How's that?
That's very good.
Yes, we know Carnivore Happy that all chickens are dinosaurs. We know that all birds are dinosaurs. What we're saying is these particular chickens look like dinosaurs and really evoke the thoughts of Jesus. This is a dinosaur.
They have they have almost like hawk-like legs and claws, so you probably don't want to be in a fight with them, and they have a very broad chest and they look pretty
muscular
cool.
And the beak looks kind of dinosaur beaky more than chicken beaky, and they have that look in their eye like, come on, fucking come on.
I suspect someone who will have chicks on 3rd of December, so hopefully we can get them used to the dogs so they don't have to fucking claw their eyes out or something. No, it's not Indian runner. They are called Indian game. Indian runner is a duck, isn't it?
Is it?
There might be Indian runner chickens too, but that's not what I'm talking about. Can high cholesterol cause any type of macular degeneration? After 3 years of high cholesterol from meat and eggs, right eye is slightly blurry. Eye doc wants to inject a needle in the eye or something.
The answer is no. Cholesterol does not cause any health concern of any kind. No.
Bart, question. Does it make sense to even brush your teeth and shower on carnivore? You think that kind of stuff is even necessary as a carnivore?
Well, Are you living in a relationship with other human beings or anywhere near other human beings? If so, the answer is you probably want to brush your teeth and shower, because our sensibilities are not what they used to be, and you'll stink as fuck if you don't.
And if you don't, then lucky you.
Yes. And if you don't stink, lucky you is what I guess that means.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, is it true that when you eat human skin, it increases your collagen? Like, I mean, all dead, dry skin, not actual flesh, just the skin.
What is wrong with you? Seriously? My God. Should we just move on? Yes, human skin contains collagen. Does it increase your collagen? Only in as much as it supplies collagen to you, as much as anything else that contains collagen. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
So, why you do not advocate for the consumption of animals the way they are found in nature, meaning catching, dispatching, butchering, drinking the blood, and eating the raw cholesterol, organs, and so on?
Why would I? What benefits are established and proven from doing things the way you're talking about there, as opposed to doing it any other way, so long as you're eating the right diet? Who cares whether you killed it yourself or caught it yourself, butchered it yourself? Drinking blood is completely unnecessary, but you can if you want to. And eating organs is unnecessary and probably contraindicated, especially if you're talking about liver in any significant proportion. Still. Yeah.
Just have to laugh at this one. Can't remember the name of the book on memory, sounds like me. Jim Quick.
Yes. Something.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yes.
If you search for that, you'll find his book,
Right,
and you'll
yes.
find the book that I'm talking about.
Okay, guys, we've got about 14 minutes remaining. If you want to get your super chats in for your questions that you need answering in today's session, get that happening. Otherwise, we'll continue on until we're out of time.
Yes, and I missed some super chats, of course.
Of course you did.
So,
Yes.
no? Yeah.
Right.
Why isn't that one up? That's like 10.90. Maybe BGNs are worth nothing, so it doesn't come up.
Maybe.
Some carnivore influencers recommend iodine supplements, legal solution. What do you think?
Drop it on your skin if you feel like that's something you want to try, and leave it for half hour or so. And if there's still a brown mark on your skin after half an hour or so, you don't need additional iodine. And if there isn't, you do.
Do you think that actually works?
Yes.
Okay.
Your body knows whether to absorb something through its skin or not, that it needs or doesn't need in terms of iodine.
It will evaporate.
Sure.
All right.
The water will, absolutely, but the iodine is absorbed through the skin or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can heavy cream trigger Randall cycle? I drink about 150 to 200 milliliters of heavy cream per day.
Not by itself, if it's sugar-free, because to trigger the Randall cycle in a large degree, you need both sugar and fat.
Yes.
Yeah.
More super chat.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you both for your insights and knowledge.
No, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for the 10 Australian dollars.
Very good.
They're much better than Pacific pesos we have in New Zealand, or indeed here in PimBartia. We should have our own currency, shouldn't we?
Yes, of course. We only take payment in hard fucking labor.
It's hard. Yes, come and work on the farm, and we'll feed you, and you can come and do a farm stay. Anyone that wants to come and do that.
Yeah, if you want to fix some fences and shit, you're welcome. Why the F would you eat human skin? We're carnivores, not cannibals. I think it's auto-cannibalism if you're just going to ignore your dead skin cells.
In which case, there's nothing to be gained, is there, really?
It's less wastage. Another super chat.
Yay.
New Zealand dollars.
Yay.
I have a
partiality, I think that's it, sorry.
To New Zealand Puhoi farms, half cream, half milk. I confirm too much puts the fat on your belly. When I cut it out, my tummy shrinks.
Yes.
Yes.
That's because the milk contains sugar and you're mixing it with fat. Randall cycle, the weight gain. Milk is designed to put weight on an animal quickly. For that reason. Yep. Cheers for the New Zealand Pacific pesos. come and visit us in the sovereign nation of PimBartia, nestled within the region of Tasman in the New Zealand doings, the communist state of New Zealand.
Okay, now I found where we were.
Yes.
So, is iodine deficiency bad in New Zealand as it is in the US?
I don't think so. And I don't know how bad it is in the US. I've never seen anything that will convince me that it is bad.
Isn't it like a worldwide problem?
Well, so they say, but I've yet to see any evidence that it is so, personally.
Okay.
Because there aren't millions and millions of people running around with goiter, is there?
Well, you don't need to get it goited to be deficient.
Sure, but it's a clear sign that there is a serious and meaningful deficiency.
Just reading this one because I want to. Salt licks are probably cheaper, but I have seen people water their soils at intervals with high mineral sea salted water to bring back the nutrients to flow into the oceans, waterways, etc. I'm not sure we want to haul a lot of seawater up to here.
No, and also if you pour salt onto your land, you'll stop things growing on it if you pour too much salt on. It was a technique that was used by conquering armies when they wanted to stop the place that they had conquered from being able to be used ever again. So they burn everything to the ground and salt the earth.
Maybe it works if you just put a little bit on or dilute it or whatever.
Sure.
Should I do any blood test routine for my cardiovascular health, even if I don't have hypertension, diabetes, nor any symptoms?
No.
Yeah. Pim, any preferences on electrolytes for patients transitioning to carnivore and having a difficult time accepting salt? Interesting question. I don't. If what do you mean with difficult time accepting salt? Is that as in, did it actually feel bad doing it, or get any weird symptoms, or did you just think it tastes like shit? Because I always say, just go with taste. I have people who are like me, saltivores, and then people who are the opposite, and they just don't want any salt on their food. I think it might be a genetic thing, partially anyways. From what I learned from Angela Stanton and about migraine brains is that they do require a lot of salt because we are very sensitive people and we have a lot of neural activity going on. And when we are triggered by anything that can be, smell, stress, whatever, we consume a lot of salt. So we need a lot more salt than most people. Or we might get more migraines.
Good.
So maybe those people don't need it.
Maybe.
Do you have any opinions?
I always just say to people, take salt to taste. Pretty much.
Okay. So same opinion then.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Is raw meat a good way to get some extra low deuterium water?
So is cooked. And fat is better than meat for that, cooked or otherwise.
Can drink the blood. Should I avoid consuming regular water and only drink deuterium water?
By which I presume you mean deuterium depleted water.
Yes, probably.
Yes. In which case you can if you like. Depends. Do you have a deuterium problem? If so, how has that been established? If regular water also means tap water, I wouldn't drink that as long as my ass points to the ground.
If you do know that you have too much deuterium, which I assume that most people do to some degree, yeah, you can do that. But I don't think it's a good thing to do that ongoingly if you have no idea what your levels are, because you could actually deuterium deplete too much. So if you want to do that for a period of time, fine. But then, are you a fucking millionaire? It's kind of expensive, especially if you're drinking a lot. So I think it's better to, if you have a problem, do it for a period of time and then just actually stick with a good diet so that you don't build up to super high levels again.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh.
I think we have a super chat.
Yeah.
Was it that one?
I don't know.
Yes, okay.
I've heard that one.
Not
the one in
one.
yellow, not that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
At similar quantities, is kefir better than regular milk in terms of minimizing the Rundle cycle?
Yes, because it's lower in sugar.
Yeah.
That's what the fermentation does. It uses sugar.
To ferment.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Super chat.
Mhm.
Salt on the soil makes me think of the movie Idiocracy. Or Crassy.
Yeah, Idiocracy.
Idiocracy.
Yeah.
I want to say idiot. It's got what's plant crave. It's got electrolytes.
Mhm.
I see. I don't think I have seen that. So let me scroll again. Did I scroll too far? We were there, weren't we?
I don't know.
Yes. Okay.
You're in charge.
Yes. More kefir questions. Pim, we make kefir-like substance by heating milk and then adding a little bit of plain yogurt, then ferment 24 hours without kefir grains. It comes out very sour. Would you try it on your own? You're probably making yogurt then, if you're using yogurt to ferment it.
Yeah.
Yogurt culture. Yeah, why not? I can't see a problem with it. I made yogurt that way too. Kefir is much easier to make because I found that yogurt can be very watery and it's hard to get the right consistency. And if you want to be really sure that it comes out really well, you need to have a consistent temperature and a specific temperature, whereas kefir is more about the time. So where we moved now was very cold when we moved in. It takes me 48 hours to make kefir. But at the old place, I could have the oven lamp on, and then it just takes me 24 hours. And it would be about, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, 25, 26 degrees maybe.
Is that Celsius?
Yes, Celsius. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I will never learn that bloody conversion scale.
Okay.
What is the formulation for working out how much protein my body requires again? And how do I know my body fat ratio without electronic scales? I cannot use these due to having a defib installed.
Take your height in meters, multiply that by itself, and then multiply the result of that equation by 22.5. That is your ideal mass in kilograms, and that's what you use to work out the 2 grams per. Example, I am 1.68 meters in height. So I multiply that by itself and get 3.2 something, whatever it is. And then I multiply that by 22.5 and it tells me 60 something kilograms is my ideal body weight. And it's actually within 3 or 4 kilograms of my actual weight, even at my fattest when I'm not being very good. Anyway, I think we've had enough.
You're done.
I'm done.
Okay, we're done.
Yep. So
no more questions.
No more questions.
Yeah.
But we do need to sing the national anthem of the independent sovereign nation of PimBartia, which goes something like this. Steak and eggs and steak. That's what you should have for your breakfast. Delicious. Eggs and steak and eggs. Just making sure you heard. I think they got it. Right.
Probably.
Join us next week.
Bye. Thank you for joining us. Have a good weekend.